Okay. So there are a couple different methods you can use to teach focus. Normally you want to solicit their behavior, which just means change your body language to get them to offer a behavior. So you want to find something that they're excited by, whether it's a toy, treats, praise. Some dogs that aren't motivated by toys or treats are going to take a lot more patience. Normally, if I had a dog that was motivated more by praise, I would use what's called free shaping, which is normally used with clicker training. When they see the animal doing the desired behavior, they will click and reward. With a dog who isn't motivated with treats or toys, the reward would just be tone of voice, being really positive, and physical, like affection. This is Rowdy. Come here. He's trained in French, so his cues are kind of weird sounding. He's my service dog in training, so we've been working since he was born, pretty much, on obedience and especially focus. That's normally the very first thing I ever teach. But bonding, honestly, is more important than anything, because you train through trust. That's how you build confidence. They trust you, you get them through fear, they build their confidence, they're willing to try new things. So with him, as a puppy, if he wasn't wearing a leash, I would use feeding time with his food in the bowl as an opportunity to train and condition focus. So I would hold the bowl until they decided to sit and look at me. And after a while, all the puppies learned that that behavior is what got them their food. And so they would automatically offer it. And when they would start doing the behavior by themselves, I would wait longer and longer. I'd only add maybe 10 seconds on at a time until they got to a point where I could tell by their body language that they were ready for no markers, which would be like, no, wait. Basically telling the dog to try again. So when he got older, when they were ready for like more expectations, when you can expect more of your puppy. Come here. He's so lazy. He's so tired. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. I see. And he's very good at getting close to me and staring at me. As you can probably tell, we've practiced a lot. And he's tired of doing stuff right now. He's had a long day. But let's see. Recule, move back. Good boy. I see. No. I see. Thank you, good boy. You tour. Yes. Good boy. Break. So I would spread my hands apart. Now he's conditioned to where I don't have to have food in my hands when I do this body language. He knows that he's supposed to look at my face, because I would do this when he would look at me. Yes, right when he looks at me, even if it's for a split second, I'd say yes, and then I take it to my face so he reassociates that this is where he's supposed to look, and then I would give him the treat. And then there was no treat there, but you're so clever. Good boy. That's a very good boy. Couché. Good boy. So free shaping, that method. Another method you could do if they just won't leave the food in your hands alone, that would just be I would want to work on a leave it cue. Leave it. Rowdy, leave it. Hey. And you just don't let them have it. And he still works on that because he loves food. So that's actually really, really good for impulse control. Yes, okay. Good boy. But you could hold it up to your face. Yes. And then bring it straight to them. You could solicit the behavior when they look at you. Yes. Good. See how he kind of assumes that he's just going to get the treat, but I want him to associate the behavior with being rewarded, not the hand with being rewarded and just trying. I want his behaviors to be very thorough, so I hold him to a very high standard. I'm extremely consistent, not just with the words I use to cue his behaviors, but with how he performs them and his body language. So, I see. Rowdy, I see. Good boy. So, to proof a behavior, before you add in distractions, what they're distracted by, you want to practice them offering you the behavior while you are in a variety of positions, whether you're sitting, squatting, standing, in a chair, on a couch, different locations in the house, and then you'll move out to the yard or wherever you train most often. You start there, and then you slowly move around until they can do it everywhere, and then you can add higher and higher levels of distraction. And you always want to leave them off on a good note so they feel successful. That way the next time you ask for the behavior and they know what's expected, they're confident, and it doesn't set you back in your training. Let's see. Yes, good retour. So when you want to introduce the cue word, if you don't have a marker word, I would just stay quiet, solicit the behavior, get them to do it, retour. Give them the treat as you say their cue, and then they'll associate that behavior, retour, with the word. And that way, eventually, you'll be able to break. Retour. Yes. Break. Good boy. Break is just his release word to go ahead. Since he is a service dog in training, I'm very particular about when he's allowed to do certain things and not. Like, he's only allowed to if I give him permission, just because he does do public access. Leave it. Retour. Yes. Good boy. Break. Place. Coucher. Tabou. Yes. Assis. Coucher. Good boy. And sometimes it helps to build their confidence to mix in cues that they already know, like sit, lay down, the basics that they're really good at and they have a lot of confidence in themselves with doing. That will also help teach new behaviors. To add duration, let's see. Leave it. No. Fooey. Leave it. Retour, yes. Break. He loves food so much. Good, Dabu. Coucher. Assis. Coucher. Dabu. See how he's offering things that aren't exactly what I know he knows the behavior. They aren't what I'm wanting, so I just wait him out. And if he needs a reminder, I say his name, and then the cue again. Rowdy, Dabu. Wrong one, try again. Dabu. No. Come on, Dabu. Come on. Come on, Dabu. Yes. Good boy. Sometimes you will need to like help them like with position changes and other stuff you're trying to train. Dogs are pressure sensitive, so they will always push. Actually, depending on what it is. If you go under them, normally they're going to stand up, but like pushing on their sides, they're going to fall into it. That's why, like, when a dog is wearing a harness, they'll pull into it. Or like leaning, like good boy. He's had a lot of like, I don't know what to really call that. What I would call come here. Couche. Rest. What would we call that? Pressure training? I guess, just to like move his body to pressure, kind of like how they train horses to move around out of the way and things like that so they don't get kicked, and also just for respect as well, boundaries and things. So, retour. Yes. Break. Couche. Yes. See how sometimes when I throw the treat away and let him go get it, it's to reset for the behavior so I can get him to restart. It's literally a restart for dogs. It just gets them to redo it, and that's how you keep them from getting frustrated, by repetition. Like, he knows that we train usually for a long amount of time. Well, now that he's like a year and 5 months. But when he was younger, I would keep it very short, sweet, to the point, and always end on a good note, so I build his confidence. I never taught him failure. I always set him up for success. So he's very confident and overcomes new things quickly. And any dog can do that, not just service dogs. I just use his as an example because I can have him do things over and over and over again. Come here. Dabu. Dabu. No, Dabu. Rowdy. Dabu. Good boy. We're still working on that one, but dogs will go through so many stages. That's another thing. You'll think you taught them, and then one day you go to ask for it, and they're like, I don't know this. And it's just super funny. So you just always want to stay patient. And move at their pace. That would be my advice. Always move it at their pace. Whatever individual dog you're working with, no two dogs are going to be the same. It might be similar, but there's always going to be those differences that set them apart. Good boy. Break. All done. 2.